So far, we have used the predefined templates for creating drawing using our part file. Now, we'll explore the possibilities of making our own template with our own settings like unit, setting related to drawing views, dimensions, and so on. For that, I'll start with a completely blank drawing. So let's start SolidWorks and now go to a new file. In this case, I'll start with drawing and just click OK. Now, when you do that, it will directly take you to the sheet format, and you just need to select a sheet format from this list of sheets. Now, in this case, if you keep this checkbox selected, it will only show you ISO or whatever the current standard is. It will just show the standard sheet format, but if you uncheck this, it will show all the sheets available. In this case, I want to select NCB landscape size sheet. So I'll keep that thing selected here, and with that, I'll click OK. Now we don't want to insert any part here, so simply click cancel, and then we have a completely blank drawing sheet. Now there are a few problems that we need to fix before we make and save our own template. And the first thing here is the drafting standard. As you know, the drafting standard we used is ISO, but the sheet which we used is NC, and that should not be a thing. You should always keep these two things consistent. So first I'm going to go to this options here, and then I'll go to document properties, and right inside this, as you can see, our drafting standard is ISO. I'll change that to NC. Now that's the first thing. Apart from that, there are several settings that you can change here in the drafting standard, and any setting that you change here in the document properties will be saved in this drawing sheet. And if you save it as a template, it will be saved permanently in your template. Now the second thing that we want to change here is unit. So I'll go to unit, and as you can see, millimeter, gram, and second is the default unit format. I'll change that to IPS, inch, pound, and second system. Now here we have the decimal places. For length, it is set to 2 decimal places. For dual dimensioning, it's 2, and for angle, it's 2. I'll keep that selected, but if you want to change it, that's here. You can change the number of decimal places. You can also change other properties, like properties related to dimensions. So that's right about here. So very small settings like the size of arrows, leader line, extension lines, the arrow style, the gaps, how the fractions will be displayed, the precision values, and so on. You can also change the properties related to annotations right here. And when you expand it, you can see all the other settings related to different annotations like notes, tolerances, and so on. In this case, I'm only going to change the setting related to unit. And with that, I'll click OK, and the settings are now applied here. So you can also see here on the bottom right corner, we have the IPS system applied. Now the next thing that I need to do here is, well, change the title block. So this is the default one. If you want to use it, that's fine, but here we'll create our own. So let's start with changing this title block, but by default, you won't be able to select it, and you won't be able to make any changes here because right now we're in the drawing mode. To make any changes, we need to go to the sheet mode. To go to sheet mode, simply right click in the blank area here in the drawing and select edit sheet format. And now we are in the sheet mode. In the sheet mode, well, you'll see this exit sheet option, and also all these things are now highlighted. You can select it all, the title block, and press delete, and that's gone. Also, when you expand the sheet here, you will see every single thing available in the sheet. And this is the border that we also want to delete. When the border is selected, it's highlighted here as well. So that's something which we want to delete. So I'll right click on border 1 and I'll select delete border, and yes. So border is also deleted. Now I'll keep everything else here because we may use it later, but we now have a completely blank NCB sheet, which we are going to use. So let's start by adding the border here or the ruler. For adding that, go to sheet format, and here you have the option of adding the border, automatic border. So just select this automatic border and now click on this next option. All right, so this will automatically add a border here depending on your last settings, but in this case, I don't want this kind of border. I want to make some changes here. Well, the first setting that I need to change here is zone size. Now, if you want to just change it, that's here. So right now in rows, we have 2 zones. In columns, we have 4. So you can change it. I'll make 4 zones in rows and 4 zones in columns. If you want a different value, you can just change that here. Now I'll close it, and then the next option is margin. Now the margin is currently set to 0.50 inch from the end of paper. Now again, if you want to keep that, that's fine. If you don't want it, then you can change it here. I think we should change the margin to approximately 5 mm, which is 0.197 inch. So I'll just make it 0.197 and I'll press the tab key. All right, and I'll do the same for this. So 0.197 tab key, 0.197 tab, and 0.197 tab. There we are. So all the 4 margins on the left side, right side, top and bottom are changed. So on all the 4 sides, it's just different now. If you want to change the style of this border, that's here. And if you want to change its thickness, that's here. If you want to add double line, well, that's here. I don't want that, so I'll keep it off. All right, now I'll go to this zone formatting. And here we have the zone divider option. These are the divider lines. If you want to hide it, simply uncheck this and the zone divider will simply disappear. So I'll keep this zone divider on. And also it looks like somehow the margin is different for this one. So we missed this one here because the margin is really big here. So I'll just change that to 0.197. Now that's proper. So we'll close it and now we'll go to zone formatting. So zone divider is on. Now the next option here is zone line length, and these are all the zone lines. Now if you want to change that length, that's here. Currently it is set to 0.33 and that's these lines. If you want it different, well, you can change it. So here I'll make it 0.197, that is equal to the margin. I don't want it to go beyond the paper, so I'll change it like so. Also we have the center zone divider, that's these 4 lines. So it is inside as well as outside. So that's the length outside, which I want, well, equal to 0.197, and inside we don't want any length. So we just want to make it 0. So I'll just make it 0 and tab key. Okay, done. Now, if you want to show or hide the labels, all these row and column labels, that's this option. So you can show or hide these labels. Well, I'll keep it all active, and with that, I'll simply click OK. And we now have the border here. So the border is added. Next step is adding title block.